New CEO Klaus Nyborg joining us now in studio here in Hong Kong. And Klaus is new to the position, coming in in December of last year, so late last year.
That's right.
Nice to see you. Good morning to you, Klaus. Let's talk about these results. So you made about $100 million compared to $400 million the year before, of course. Of last year, extraordinary year. It's down about 70% for net income. But how about this year so far?
So far, we have started it well. The market is strong, relatively strong. So we're booking cargoes. There's good demand from China especially. So I think we're sort of somewhat cautiously optimistic for the year. But I guess also we will see a year with great volatility because Chinese demand, of course, change from time to time. And that might have an impact on the freight earnings.
Yeah, when you say you're cautiously optimistic, do you think this year's full year profit will beat $100 million that you saw last year?
We'll try to avoid making any predictions. So, but so far, so good.
So far, so good. No predictions, maybe a 15% gain from here, 10%, just that you're optimistic.
We're cautiously optimistic, but concerned about the supply side of ships. The order book of ships are very high still, but we see signs, clear signs that not as many ships as expected will deliver, which gives also some some optimism that actually the market is better balanced than it looked to be.
Yeah, that was the overhang, really. A lot of analysts in the shipping industry think that there's too much supply at this point. In fact, that's why they think the BDIY might have this year. What do you think of that prediction?
Well, we tend to avoid making these predictions, but we'll see a lot of volatility, and therefore, during certain periods, it might happen. But I think the point is that analysts currently predict that 35 to 40% of vessels will not deliver this year. I think we concur with that view. We might even see it even less being delivered to the market. On the other hand, the demand seems to be fairly strong. So we view China going through its industrialization as being stronger for longer. And that gives us some reasons for being sort of fairly balanced in our view. We have gone from negative to neutral and therefore being sort of cautiously optimistic, and for which reason we start embarking on buying ships again.
And now, how many ships are you going to buy this year?
We don't know. Well,
you don't know? you have some cash to use, don't you?
We have some cash to use, but we try to be very considered and measured and look out for good opportunities and don't just be carried away, because if we had a definite plan, we're ambitious and want to grow it significantly because we want to grow our business, but don't have a clear, defined plan of how many vessels we would like to buy. Yeah. Because one of the reasons is that what we like to avoid is that our break-even levels are increasing, are inflating, because that we have reached a very competitive level in our cost levels, which we like to maintain for the years ahead.
And now some have reported maybe 5 vessels this year. Does that sound about right to you?
That's what we have bought so far.
You've bought so far. And how many do you want to buy over the next 2 years? Because recently I talked to Pressure Shipping in Thailand. They're pretty optimistic. They're buying 26, adding 26 to their fleet over the next several years.
Pressure Shipping have an old fleet which they need to replace. Pacific Basin has a very young fleet, so we don't have a particular need for replacing anything, so we can grow. And we have stated that we want to significantly grow our fleet in the years to come. Okay.
Now, one more question for you, Klaus. I know you don't make predictions. I understand that. But when analysts say that the BDIY, the Baltic Dry Index, is going to drop to half its levels, does that seem reasonable to you for a year such as this year?
Normally, of course, there's seasonality in the dry bulk market. And summer might come down because of volatility, but I think overall the year will be decent.
All right, Klaus, cautiously optimistic for this year. Nice to see you. That's Klaus Nyborg, who's the CEO of Pacific Basin Shipping.